Hey everybody, thank you so much for. So hey
Hello,
Mayank,
Vishwas.
so let's just start with it.
I am
So
audible
Mayank,
clearly.
yeah, you're audible. Yes, you're audible for sure. Yeah, I think that's it, man. ML is the new hope, right? You're now just trying to demystify everything, and I think let me just share my screen so that you all can see my window, so that we all can go ahead and do a lot of things. So yeah, no, go ahead, Mike. We'll just go on with the session later on.
Mayank, you can just go with it. Mayank, you are audible clearly. Arya, you are audible.
You're audible.
So, hey guys, I guess Mayank is having some technical glitch, so no worries. Today we are having Viswas with us to talk about Azure ML and get started with machine learning, and he is the best speaker to talk about this. Viswas is having an incredible experience in Azure, and he is been working from a long while in Azure portal and all these things. So, over to you, Viswas.
Yeah, thank you so much, Lakshit. So, it's all about that journey that we want, right? How can we enter ML? How can we enter cloud computing? Azure is like the best place.
Yeah.
I can also show you other services like Databricks, which is having similar kind of services where you can really go ahead and start your journey out there. Sorry for my voice if it sounds like a Scooby Doo, can't help it. I have a severe throat pain, so bear with me for that. So, yeah, let's just start with it. So, portal.azure.com. I think you are sharing my screen. So, I think full screen would be awesome. Don't add me in the side or anything, it would be bad. Just full screen. The full screen mode is perfect for me. So yeah, as soon as you enter the portal, you see this and you will be like, wow, what is the speaker doing? Do we get all these things? No, not for sure. Like if you have already worked on some of the components, yes, or else it will still be like services, resource group, things like this. So I don't change the navigate things. Navigate things still remain the same. The tools still remain the same in the Azure portal. And to be very frank with you, you get the same old way of this portal.azure.com. This still remains the same. The search bar still remains the same. This gives you set of all the services, which is just going to be attached to all the Azure and other things. So you can create your own VMs, clusters on Databricks and everything. So if you want, you can also work on some Databricks as well. So I'll make sure that I'll do one Databricks, not a demo. I think I have many website written. So Databricks by Web.app. This is one of my repositories where I have all the Databricks notebook combined here. It's just there for you. As soon as you click on it, you'll get all the notebooks which I have written. So the PySpark notebook, everything end to end, all the sessions that I took on Databricks, it's there as a repository. So you guys can go check out this repository. I'll put it in the uh, yeah, I'll take that's not a problem, man. Azure ML Vishwas .web.app. So this is one of my projects which I just did, just for the fun of it. It's a collection of all the things required for you to do Azure ML using a Python SDK. So it's there for you. And yeah, that's the thing. So right now, okay, I think he Vishwas thoda aaram se karna. Yes. Yeah, I'll do it. That's not a problem. So this is how you can enter the Azure portal. What I'm creating right now is the same old step which you use for creating your Azure ML workflow as well. I'll show you that as well. So it's new 1, 2, 3. You can name it. I think it's just the resource group is just a virtual repository for all your services. So it's just a collection of file system which says that hey, you're you're use these many resources which are attached in these many groups, and it also says that wherein all the locations are there. It doesn't mean that you can't have one data center communicate with one resource group or anything. You can attach multiple location, multiple resources inside one resource group itself. So easy cleanup as well. So you guys can create that resource group. As soon as you create a resource group, there are three other things. So it says region, uh, workspace, region. So it also says pricing tier. Pricing tier is also a different way of saying, okay, what do I need when I have this much amount of workload? It's all about that capacity planning. It's all about that way in which you are really working towards solving that problem statement at the scale. So this is what the problem statement is all about. So there is always a premium role, trial premiums, and DPUs are nothing but data brick units, which is nothing but a complete compute repository, which will be just coming for you, packaged with all the Spark dependencies given to it. So I think better way is to go for a standard. It's easily scalable, and if you are writing some POCs for your companies, I think trial would be a better option, because trial will give you a good amount of DBU in order to have such kind of an data interactability over a course of time. I think this is a better option if it's for a POC, proof of concept projects. So if it's not a POC, don't care about that. Nobody gives a damn. But this is for a production ready system. So production ready, it's always needs to be and top in the class, right? So this is where I tell you to use standard. So standard is for the production ready environment. Trial is for some POCs. So it's good enough for 14 days. You get to do a trial with that product. So you can go ahead and start creating that cluster. It's validating. Now it will start creating the cluster. So let's just see what is happening there. So it's allowed to create. I think let me just wait for the submitting done. So that's perfect. So even in Azure ML, as I told, it's the same old way of creating it. So I think you just go to the create will do all the magic to you. It's the same old way of saying all the things, but extra things are there's keyword, there is storage account, application insights, container registry, which is always there for you. So it's the best thing, right? So let's just put it in ML only, because it's an ML. So which was ML workspace, and I think that's the perfect option. You guys can go get out with all different forms of no restrictions, and everything is starting to work here. So you guys can go check out what is happening here. So everything is sorted for you. So right now it's going to be there for you. Any questions, any doubts? So no problem. If you guys don't have it, that's also good. But being without a question, I think probably I have to doubt you guys, man. So there are different ways you can interact with it. So compute cluster directly comes with all these kind of instances and everything. So I'll show you how to go to that as well. So don't worry about that. So I think it will take a lot of time, but let's just hop into the already created ones. So, so in a meanwhile, when you are creating some sort of a resources, you need to know where are all these resources coming up, right? So as you can see that there is already some models deployed, but these are still the container registries which are communicating with the compute instances that I created. I told you, right, there can be multiple locations of data center that can be interacting at one given point of time. So here it is. And the storage account still remains the same. There is always an key vault which is always there. Oh, sorry for that. So the storage account is here and the key vaults are here. So the key vault is this in the marked in the red, and this is the application insights. So what I'm showing to you right now is a top-notch level of governance that you can really take care about. So any amount of AI and ML you do, if you don't have an application insight about all the things that is going down in your system, what is happening, how much of CPU is being used, how many failed requests came in, all these things, right? That's the best part about it. So it's an application. How do you get an application insight? So that's what it's doing right now. And all the things has been created. I think it will take time to create. Of course, deployment succeeded. Yeah, it's the Azure ML workspace that I created as a new one. So let me just start with the new workspace itself. So as soon as you go get in, there'll be nothing. It will be blank. But a tip from my side is just go start creating compute instances. And the magic of why I told you to have locations is that you should know where to create a location where you can access all these GPUs and TPUs. I'll show you one of the resources that I created earlier. It was in a central US region. It doesn't have a support for you to get the GPUs on the compute cluster. So I can show you how. I click on the GPUs, none of it is selectable. Of course, it's available, but none of it is selectable. So what I did was I clicked on the request quota. So I clicked on this, and now I'm being redirected to this. And you can see that in this region, there is no N series coming up. So there's M series, there is only one N series, and that is of no use to me. And right now, I want to see other places. Where are they giving me N series, N series, N series? I can use Japan. Japan has good amount of N series available, and I can use North Central US as well. So it depends on you. Like, where do you want to really make your architecture or the workspace sitting down the line? So this is where you're going and fetching towards. And as always, you can create as many instances as you want, as many jobs as you want, and you can start working towards all these things. And it of course takes some time to create it, because they're actually in the back end, they're actually giving you an entire cluster of a center there. So in order to keep it more secure, so that if anybody is accessing the kind of a service similar to you, they should not be able to access to your data center, right? That is your data center. So it's basically your DGX machine on your system. If you just choose a different one, it's going to be an amazing machine, by the way. So let me just show you how is the DGX machine looking like. So for Tesla M60 cards, so this is an ultimate DGX machine to you. So a Tesla architecture, four NVIDIA cards attached to you with a high performance of compute given to you for delivering such kind of a models. It's nothing but an DGX 1000 machine. So it's a DGX 1000 NVIDIA. It's here. So this is a mini data center that you'll be creating right now. And you just have it in a click. Just you have to wait for a second, and voila, you have an DGX machine which is attached to you right now. So of course it takes some time, it will be there, but like I would say, like, there are different options available for you at the end of the day. So you can create a notebook, train as many models as you want, or else you can, if you are very lazy and if you are like, okay, let's just see whether which algorithm works fine first and let's just go on with it, that's also cool. AutoML is there, but dataset has to be compatible. I can show you some of the examples where datasets were not compatible, and it didn't allow me to train any of the models, and that should never be the case of it. So this is where data engineering and data management and all these things comes into the picture. So you can see that, right? I showed the SKUs, and there is always this, and you can see that here it's saying that, hey, this entire data set is something different. We need a new data set, and the schema building is an amazing headache. So if you don't want that, AutoML is always there. It helps you with all these things. So even if you can see that I changed the same old data set, I changed doing all these things, the data set was not supporting and the experiment was not created. And you can see that This is a state of the art prerequisite that you really require for your entire model building process, and it does everything. So if you choose any model which is not feasible according to that data set, it's not going to work for it, and it's going to give you that red tick. And similarly for the others, and if it's running, it does all the featureization, everything. It does all the kind of a deployment. If it says unhealthy, means that there is no way that your model is going to be deployed. And if it says healthy, it's been deployed, the swaggers and the URLs have already been there. So this is how this system is. This system is such an beauty. Like, let me say you one thing, it's the best way. So so there are different phases in which this model building process also will be taken care. There's something called as a transitioning phase. In this transitioning phase, a security will be taken care. The way in which the data has to be accessed will be taken care, and it's all automated. And the guidance will be given to you even in the portal itself. So don't worry about that. And to be very frank, you can access Jupyter Lab, Jupyter Notebooks, VS Code on your local system. You can just cloud pool all the resources which are there. RStudio will be on the browser, so you can do that. Terminal will be on the browser, except the VS Code. Terminal, Jupyter Lab, everything will be on the browser. So it's an ultimate guide for your entire deep learning system. So you guys can really write an amazing paper using this. Like, the best part about this entire thing is it is MLOps enabled. I can show you one of the experiments that I did. It's actually there in Azure portal, so I need not have to do much here. So it says it's using notebook. Yes, I need the notebook. So it's loading up, and you can look at the fact that I used a lot of resources. I used a lot of things, and it's already giving me all the dependencies. It's already showing me what is the requirement of that. It needs scikit-learn, Azure ML SDK, and everything. So this is the form factor of an environment file that I'm talking. So this file is .yaml file. So if you can see that here, this file comes in the form factor of YAML, so yet another markup language. And an IPYNB notebook is an IPython kernel notebook, which will be always in this form factor itself. So this is from the Azure itself. And you can see that I have an ML flow, which is enabled here, which is a framework for ML ops. And to be very frank with you, if you are using any of the notebooks, or else if you do any of the system, I think I have one. I think I'll just get the link from here. So I think there's one ML flow. I think, yeah, I think I did one ML flow here. Where is that ML flow? It's ML flow is here. So you can see the notebook. It seems very similar. All the commands that I'm writing here in this part of the thing, what's happening here is that ML flow is being called. Wait. ML flow is being called. I'm saying it to the set experiments, auto log all the different matrices and everything. So what's happening here is also similar. That I'm training a model and I'm collecting all the insights, all the graphs onto an repository somewhere down the line in a Databricks. So I'll show you how the Databricks environment is as well. So don't worry about that. Lakshit promised me one thing: never skip my schedules. I don't know, if I don't give a session, I'll just fall ill, and that's the worst part about it, man. Just keep me busy. 4 to 8, I'm giving it to you. So in a similar way, right? ML flow is always there. There's a model building process, and after training all the model, it will just be in the form factor of this URL. You click on it, you will understand how much of an data is required. And I don't have an entire data set to be given to you. What I do is a simple step. I just click on the execution and I start executing all of this. I think this was being executed already, or else it will show me as one script run. The great garlic in experiment is failed. Why? All right. No, that's not a problem. I think this should never be a problem. But let's see what's happening. Download the data set. I think I didn't do much here. All right, let's see. Name error, data folder. Where is the data folder going wrong? All right, let me just take a new compute instance. Oh, sorry for that. I need to start it. I'll start it. Start. Start. I think let's see what happens when I change the compute instances which are available. So it's here. So I'm confirming you. So let's see what happens as a magic in the new compute instance. Oh, okay, it depends on what kind of an compute instance that I'm using as well. If it's a lower one, probably it's going to have that workload, right? So of course it's going to not take it into consideration. So yeah, I think memory leaks, everything are considered. So it's just an endpoint that I'm creating right now, and it's just taking care of all the things. So now after executing it, this URL as an endpoint that I showed you will be triggered again and again and again based on the random amount of inputs that will come from the code that I've written here. So you guys can see this code. This is not written by me, by the way. This is from the Azure team itself. So I just forked it there. So it's working because it's a session that I wanted to give. So I just wanted to give you a complete intro of that. So I think this is going to work. Yes, this is going to work. So see that, it's already logging all the different matrices and everything. So you guys can see that all the models which have already been built is already been here. Pipelines are already being taken care here. So the experiments are now running here. So whatever this is coming, right? This is based on the experiments that I'm running right now. So the last run is green ghost. It really names its own, but like you guys can go back and clear it. You can edit this thing to anything which was or something. Like you guys can edit it. It's not a problem. So it doesn't matter, like as soon as you leave it, it doesn't vanish. All your workplace will be running backend in the cloud. So that's where you're paying money for. So you need not have to be full time. So what if your power goes off? Of course, cloud will be running all of it. You can come back and start using all these. So I think it will give me some predictions right now because this is running on a CPU instance. So I think probably that's why logging all these things is taking a little while, but this will come back to me. So that's not a problem. And let's just go back to our Aura ML experiments. So I think Aura ML experiment. So it's very simple. As soon as you enter, you'll not have all these experiments. So don't worry about that. Just go click on this AutoML thing. It will create a new AutoML for you. It's very easy to even get a data set as well. So see that, I already ran that notebook and the endpoint is already created. And look at the fact that this entire repository is getting created once again. It's now being updated. So endpoint scikit-learn deployment in progress. So the second time that I'm running it, it's just running the same old notebook and it's creating a new endpoint for me. So that's fine. And by the way, I changed the compute instance, right? So of course it's going to give me a new endpoint right now. So in production, there is a different strategy that people use. It's all hot patching that Azure team does in the backend. but to me it looks like it's not being patched or anything. It's they do their odd patching, they just have it persistent volumes and everything, so you guys need not have to worry about it. So I think the predictions will come out in a while, so that's not a problem. So let's just continue with our AutoML, then we will go on with that predictions thing, how it works and things like that. So there are four different ways in getting, so you can get your local files dumped into that data set, and also you can go to this data store here. There's something called as a data store here. So this is a symbol for a data store. You guys can go click on it and you can create a new data set. Yet the same old pop-ups will come up. It says Azure blob storage. Yes, you have to do it. So enter manually, it's a different story. So Azure subscription, it's already there. So the storage account, so there are different storage account names. I can use any one of it. So that's fine. So blob container, Azure ML only I'll use. And authentication key, I have to just go get from that authentication key, but I can't show you that. I can show you that. That's not a problem. Portal.azure.com. If you go there, you guys can go get the key, paste it out there, and you will be sorted. What's that storage account name? SML works. Sorry for my coughing. I'm very bad in health play. That's why I'm giving him complete. So yeah, you guys can go back and see how the data sets are being created, right? So it's very simple. You go to the security and the network option here and go and click on this access key, and you have it. You can rotate the key as well, so you need not have to worry about it. So storage account name is there, so you guys can go check out this account, so you guys can copy all of this. So let's see whether it has come up. Oh, it's not at there, so that's fine. So you can rotate the key as well. So currently the key will become immediately valid if not recoverable, and it will be regenerated. So see that it's already regenerated and the things like that. So encryptions are there, so custom managed keys can also be generated. You can go and get it out, select key vault type, subscription, yes, and yes, there will be a new key which will be generated. So this is how you can bring the keys back to you. So I think that's going to be another topic on its own, so let's not worry about that. So I don't want any credentials to go there, so I can just move ahead and store any sort of a data set which is required. So it can store any amount of data stores and anything. So the data sets are already here for you. So the compute started fade. Oh, that's not the compute instance. Let's leave that. I think better we can go and create a new data set and create from the local files. You can add it, or else there is an option where you can open from the open data set. There's diabetes data set, and I have already taken it. So new data something, I'm just taking a new data and I'm just adding it there. So it will get added soon, it's not a big problem. So as soon as you refresh it, new data comes here. So this data and that data has no difference, so I can show you how to do in using that model as well. So this data and that data has no matter, so it's still the same old diabetes data set from Pima India. So you can create a new experiment, let's say, which was new EXP. I didn't name anything like that. So I think that should be perfect. I think I am going to give body mass index as the target column. Don't worry, explaining data set and everything is going to be another day, but like I don't want to waste your time. So we are going. So look at that. It already shows that it's good for a regression algorithm, which is going to be good for it, not any other. So if I choose classification, yes, it's going to say that, hey, for the classification task, the targeted column cannot be a decimal, and all these things, right? The schema and everything is being considered right now, and everything is sorted. And if you think of time series, yes, but like there is no time column which is given out there. Like you can say age is one of the times, but like what will be the next factor that you want to really take? And that series identifier is not contained in target column. it should never be like that. So it's always that problem that you need to solve. So it already chose regression, perfect for that. And validation type are very different. K-fold cross validation is like it creates five five set by chunking out the data into five equal parts. If I say number of cross validation is 10, 10. If I say 100, it will become 100 equal parts of division. And every time the data will be trained on each fold. And that's the best part about it. So let's say I keep it at 10, and I don't have any test data set, but I am saying it de facto, just take 10% of that random inputs and outputs here and there as the test data set here. I hope you guys don't have any questions. If you have any question, Abhishek, Pakol, hi, hi, BB, hi. And yeah, I think this is the notebook. Sorry for my cough, man. I don't know sometimes. So yeah, it's not started, but like it is already started and it's setting up the run now. So see that it's already running right now. So not because I did refresh, but it was just that time that it took in order to do that. So yeah, I think notebook is already there. Oh yeah, the predictions have already come up. So it's the prediction code. Now I'm going to do it. So now it chose two. Next it might choose any other number. So any other number will always be coming up here. So you guys can keep doing it. So randomly just chooses some number and it predicts it. So it's just doing the same old input and output data type, but in a different way. That's well and good. It's in a form of a string, even though it should be in the form of a data set. So that's another story. So we'll be taking everything in detail in the later part as well. So it's running now, and this is the best part about it, right? It just does its work, and you just have to go to an experiment, which was already completed. And let me just go to the data guardrails. What does it say about? So it says the status of the data set, how many validation was passed, was it fit enough for training the data? Yes, it was fit enough. And also see the magic, it already created a lot of data set. And to be very frank, there is already an explanation created for one model, which can be highly explainable. And it's saying that, hey, your model is good, let's just use it. And there is a previous version of it where you're actually plotting different data set. The heat maps are already being created, the global inferences is already created, the explanation of all this different heat maps are also given here. The summary of importance is also given in the form of this graph here. So you guys can go check it out between what is happening here and there. There are different matrices which are already taken care from different models, and you can already see that all these models are here, and you can start plotting these plots right now. And all these plots are interdependent, and it already just came in front of you, right? This is an ideal situation. This is what an average prediction look like, and the lower bound and upper bounds are already given to you. So don't worry, it's just mathematics which just goes behind. And see that the data transformation is like how much of it's numerical, how much of it was categorical, mean imputers, how was the data being imputed and transformed, and how was it pre-fitted and overfitted, and everything is being given here. And the test results, the best of the best test results is given to you. 0.1653, an amazing normalization value, took this much amount of time. And if you can see what kind of a model is this, it's going to say you that, hey, you had this much amount of data, and this is the explainable variance that I can give to you, the mean absolute error that I can give to you, and all these matrices are there in front of you like anything. And you know, if you can go ahead and resubmit it, it'll just start training once again. That's it. So currently no compute targets available. Create a new compute target. Yes, of course, but like it's going to be another way. So all these things, right? Recently the world is explainable, fairness and monitorable part of the AI. It's still under the preview, but hopefully one day we'll start using. So let me just go to the point where you can deploy a model. So there are different models which this experiment created. So let me just say I want to deploy this model. How do I deploy it? there's already a deploy tab here. So you guys can go and deploy it and web service. And if you are using Azure services and for deploying it, of course, it's going to be paid. If you are downloading it and deploying it in the form of a web app, that's going to be free of cost. So you guys can go and check out like how are we going to deploy this model, right? See that it already created a scoring file for me, which has all different scoring files here for me, which is saying that hey, you know oh, I think this is my sister practicing something. So I think I need to extract all. I need to check on what is the scoring file is. Open folder. I need to go to the downloads and yeah, select folder. Don't save because I don't mind. It's just hello world there. So yeah, you can see that, right? You are getting all the things written, including the schema code is written here for you. So that means that you have to do less amount of work here, more amount of the deployment there, and everything is sorted for you, right? So there's a model.pickle. You can directly go and deploy this pickle file. So import pickle, move it in a form of an fast API or something. You guys can do that. So this is how you can approach the explain model. It's not available for me. I think probably I can make sure that it works here. So explainability is running good. So explaining model has always been there. So I think probably I can choose one more model, which was using a non-explainable part. So I think I'll go there and I'll start worrying about like non-explainable models. How can I start getting the explanation of it? So I think compute instance, I think I'll start using it, and this is how you can do it, right? You know, this is what you need: an end-to-end pipeline for your repository, and see the magic explain created. The view will be in the child runs, so that will be perfect. So yeah, child runs are already been running, and you can see that, right? In that child runs when it's running, there are different ways you can explain the model. So you guys can go check it out. So let's just go and deploy this model. Click on the button here. So a deploy model is there. Deploy on the web services. Yes, I want to keep it as in the form of an API itself. Let's say which was new 345 something, a unique name. And if you want scalability, use Kubernetes. I don't want scalability. So container instances are good for me. Sorry for that.
Viswas, you are not audible. Your mic.
Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry for that. So yeah, sorry for that. Yeah, I think that time माइक अरे मयंक मैं 1 साल का सीनियर हूँ मैक्स टू मैक्स और 2 साल का डोंट कॉल मी सर डूड Yeah, no, let's just launch this studio. Oh, sorry for that. I think I need to explain that properly then. So, okay, very simple. So I deployed the model and it came out in the form factor of this REST API or the Swagger. If I click on it, I get all the information about the Swaggers here. And this is the best part about it, right? What I'm doing in terms of fast API, it's also in REST API. What Azure is giving me in terms of Swagger is also this. So everything is sorted here. So I can show you one more data set which I use this an MNIST data set. MNIST dataset is an handwritten MNIST dataset. There are different MNIST datasets, skin cancer MNIST, Kannada MNIST, and things like that. But MNIST standard dataset is number of digits between 0 to 9. So that's 10 digits of dataset. So it will be in this form factor itself. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this is how it will be. So yeah, it's a so the perfect example is this 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So there are different ways of writing the same old 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And what happened here is very simple. No, I think automated ML part. I think one ML part didn't run. I think the other ML part ran successfully. Yeah, I think this is the MNES thing. Sorry for that. That's a new one just created. So I think it's not required. I will show you one of the Swagger which I created there. The amount of data that it produces, it's phenomenal. Like, see the Swagger, the amount of data it produced instantaneously. It knows that it has to fetch image data set somewhere, and it used all the test data sets and all the matrices from it, and it now gave out an output in Swagger. So very easy to test any of the models here. So yeah, let's just go ahead and click on the deployed model, very recent ones. I think click here for the info. I think it's yet to come up. So let me just go and test a model here. So how to test a model? Click on the model endpoint, test the model. You'll be coming out with this kind of a JSON editor or a formatable editor. So let me just say I'm 30 years old. I'm 22, so don't worry about that. So my sex is 1 ka matlab it's male, 0 ka matlab it's female. BPE is around like, let me just say 80. And let's say I have to put 56 years, 65, 45, 23, 56, 54, and you can see the nature of the data set also. So you need not have to worry about like what's going wrong here, right? So let's just go ahead and start with it. So I think it's running. So model training is happening, and you can see that constantly there is a good amount of updation happening in terms of the number of models which are coming up. And you can see other experiments like how many data set they created. So sometimes when people ask you, you create the same amount of data set, but like what is this Monte Carlo and k-fold validation doing? Just say them it's going to reduce my time. See, k-fold reduced my time by 26 minutes, and other models just took around 33 minutes to be trained, 25 minutes to be trained, and things like that. So this is always a different energy that comes up, right? You know that this is what I need to be working towards, and this is what it is. And it took a lot of time, right? So sharp kitchen, and there are different matrices. So I targeted BP here, BP had a different target here. So this is how you do it. So let me just show you the nature of the data set which we just collected. Workspace file store. Think this is okay. If you can open this URL, you can see that this is a raw format URL which you will not be able to access until and unless you have an access to my system here. So I think worst part, let's not go there. And let me just go ahead and see what's there inside the data set as soon as we go here. Oh, it's mnest. This is the other one, right? So yeah, let me just go and see what is there in that y data set. Y data set is also 0 or 1, which is saying that hey, there is one condition pending, there is other condition which is not pending or anything. So let's say let's we just say 150 or else 85. Oh, S5 is 4 or something, right? So we have to name accordingly. So Sometimes we miss out on the features, right? So S1 is 156. All right. So S2 is some parameter which is around 65.8 or something. Let's let it be like that. And S3 is around a decimal 45, let it be. And S4 is 3.2259 something. Let's just keep it some random thing. It should be different from your training data set. S5 is 56 or else 73. Let's just keep it as 78 here. 150, let it be. So test it. So the raw result comes to be this, right? So very simple. If you go back to this, click on this URL, the tested data will be coming out here. So it's saying that it's listed out of range and you need to change some data set and things like that. Sometimes it comes healthy, sometimes it comes inactive, other things like that. So age is null, null, null. So let's just test it. So raw result came out to be some 27 point something. So let's see list of range, indexes out of range. Everything. So this is how you test the model. So I think that's it from my side, folks. There are a lot of things that I wanted to share, but 1 hour is very, very, very less for us to even show you everything about here. So that's it from my side, folks. Do you have any question? Sir, we did not get your voice. Sorry on that time. Yeah, sorry for that. Sorry for that. I'm not sir, by the way. I'm Vishwas. So, yeah.
So, any questions you can
Any
ask in
questions?
comments.
Arey, sorry, it was the worst session that I gave, man. How come you're saying it's awesome session? I think
No,
was I
it's
audible for you like throughout the
yes,
session,
yes,
right?
sir. You was audible. Sometimes it was not your mistake. Actually,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
happens
It's actually
sometimes.
my mistake. I forgot to unmute myself. So I
It's okay,
wanted to
but
explain.
it was awesome session. It was informative too much.
Yeah, deploying is not free, by the way. Deploying has its own cost. Everything comes at its own cost in Azure. Not now, probably later when Azure becomes an $1 trillion company, it might give you for free. But I don't think so right now they'll give you. But if you have any doubts, just reach out to me. We'll just figure it out somewhere. But sorry for that. For 15th till 17th I'll not be free, so I'll be taking leave from, not leave, actually I'll just be
You can share
out.
your LinkedIn profile in the comments
Yeah,
so that
so I'll be off from all these community thing for a while, from 17th. So I just asked them, okay, let me just do session as soon as possible with you guys. So this was actually supposed to happen 28th or something, but I was not well on that day and I had to go
yes, you
ahead.
can use student developer pack.
Yes, you can use student developer pack to get the subscription, and everything is sorted for you. So that's my LinkedIn, so you guys can go check it out.
You can always connect with Vishwas sir, and
And
you can ask.
also Mayank also. Mayank sir नहीं है भाई, ये भी तेरा टीममेट है ना, तो सर नहीं है. So I think that's it from my side, folks. Any other questions, don't worry. Just feel free to answer it there. I think do check out our Discord channel. It's pretty amazing. We are actually rocking the Discord field. We have amazing amount of people. I think Reskill team is doing an amazing job here in order to get all different people in the one platform. I think they did an amazing job there. And yeah, perfect that we were able to hop in. And thank you so much, folks.
Thank you so much for the session. Thank you all for joining in,
Yep.
and we will keep doing the sessions.
And
Game.
yeah, I have to make an announcement. From 18th to 1st of the March, there is one session which completely covers end-to-end DevOps as an intro. So you guys can go check it out. That I'll be taking it, and I'll be calling some more experts on DevOps, and we'll be having an end of the DevOps talk there on March 3rd. That's what I'm planning. And from March 2nd to April, somewhere down the line, we'll be having sessions on deep learning. So yeah, so deep
Cool.
learning will be awesome for you folks. And I think Lakshit
Okay, so
has
last
something to
announcement.
announce.
Yes, I do have. So last announcement from my side, guys. There is a Discord channel link I have already shared. So do join the Discord channel. Next Friday we are having one more quiz. Every Friday we are taking some quiz on Azure, so you can just participate in these and win some amazing swags from Microsoft. And top five winners will be getting the swags. Okay, so do join our Discord
Sure.
channel. We have a lot of things for you. So see you there, guys. We will take a
Thank you
leave.
so
Thank
much,
you, Viswas. Thank you for
folks.
joining.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mayank, for hosting the session. Thank you, everyone. See you then.
Thank you,
Bye.
everybody. Bye bye.